Tszyu gives the realest possible update. Will he be fighting Errol Spence? Hey, stop that cat. Man down. Yes, I definitely do that. Yeah. Yes, definitely. In this video, I'm going to break down what was stated. Will the world get to see it's the return of the all-weight Errol Spence? Is he coming back? Is it just a rumor? All of that will be updated in this video. I know a lot of people have been asking about Errol Spence. Yo, Ego, is this true? Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, Tszyu did a brand new interview with fighthub, and he has some interesting things to say. Now, the host was basically asking the questions like, yeah, I know you have a scheduled upcoming fight. You can't really look past your upcoming opponent, but there's rumblings. There are rumors that you could be fighting Errol Spence Jr. if you successfully get past your next fight. That is the rumor that is going around in boxing circles. So what do you have to say? And Tszyu kept it real. He said, I don't know. You know, there have been discussions, but I don't have an actual timeline. But if the situation presents itself, he says, I will welcome that fight with open arms. And the host said, you know, there's a lot of questions about Errol Spence, given the inactivity, given the last fight with Terrence Crawford, and you know, he lost every round pretty much in the Crawford fight, been out the ring. So I want to give you guys my thoughts. I respect how Tszyu handled it, right? Now, I get it. That's not the answer that a lot of people wanted in terms of, you know, we're boxing fans. Boxing fans can be impatient and they just want clean cut, cohesive, and definitive answers like, yeah, tell me. You know, people get impatient. However, if you don't got no update, you don't got no update. So for me, the reason I'm saying I respect it is because you look at this younger generation, Gen Z fighters, they run their mouth on social media 24/7, non-stop, right? Where it's just constant, and nothing ever becomes of it. So for me, being like an old soul, I much rather prefer if you don't have a real update, you don't falsify it, you don't like ad-lib it and do too much and get people hyped up for potentially nothing. Like, for example, look at Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis, some of the younger cats, right? They're like, I mean, how many run-ins has Keyshawn had with various fighters? Frank Martin. Yo, I pulled up an Abdullah Mason, you know, and confronted Abdullah Mason. He had a face-off with Ryan Garcia, right? He's calling out Devin Haney in streams. But the reality is, to our knowledge, none of these fights are in deep negotiations and or scheduled to happen. So what's the point of facing off with Abdullah Mason, Ryan Garcia, run in with Frank Martin, and you and Frank Martin are both at 140. You had a couple years ago, you had that run-in where Frank Martin pulled up because you were saying stuff. Where's the action? You know what I mean? So I don't like this whole, if you haven't noticed, I'm not feeling this whole clickbait society we live in, right? If you don't have an update, you don't have an update. So I commend Tszyu for keeping it real. It sounds like there's more things to iron out. And also, maybe he's saying that he could be saying this because he has a scheduled fight and maybe there's a secret announcement, or maybe Errol Spence is going to pull up to his fight in Australia and then get in the ring and they're going to tease the fight so they don't want to spoil it. So there's a couple different variations of what could be going on. Errol Spence, what we do know is from recent pictures and videos, which I've documented on my channel. If you haven't seen them, that means you're not subscribed to my channel, and that is a you problem. because I know every day I'm doing my job and getting the boxing content out for you. So if you like boxing and you're not subscribed to me, what are you really doing? So Errol Spence is absolutely in shape. We've seen that. And now it's just a matter of if he's coming back. So either way, preliminary stuff, Tszyu is fighting Dennis Naraja on April 5th. And, you know, there's some loose ends that appear that they need to be discussed. Spence, 36 years old, been inactive for 3 years. You know, he got to make sure everything's right. Like the money's right. He got to make sure everything is clicking, because this is your legacy. This is your resume. And in general, I think it's important for fighters to get it right. If you're a fighter, you should be making sure all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted for your own sake. How many fighters have to come back and keep fighting when they're older and older because they didn't manage their money? You know, it's just, you hate to see it. You hate to see those types of things. So it is what it is. I don't think that is the case with Errol Spence in terms of, I think he made a lot of money while he was champion and whatnot, and he hasn't been gone that long. But in general, it's important for these fighters to make sure they're situated outside of the ring as well. And we also can't rush Errol Spence to go through that car wreck and that vicious car accident. I think he's now doing what he should have probably done up front, but he's stubborn, you know, and that's taking time away from the sport. He was so eager to get back and make good on the Danny Garcia fight and then continue fighting Ugas and then try to fight Undisputed. Not try, he did fight Undisputed with Crawford. But in doing that, you know, you didn't really give yourself too much time to really recover and rest. So now he's doing it on the back half, which is smart for Errol Spence. Do I like Errol Spence versus Tszyu? Absolutely. Especially if Tszyu gets a win here in Australia. I think it's the perfect buildup. Now, Errol Spence will still be inactive, but Tszyu won't. So it'll definitely be a dangerous fight for both. Let me know what you guys think. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new, but even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.